Hi there, and welcome to my video for the website that I built. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. I'm going to use Chrome because then that way I can show developer tools and so on when we're loading the website. There's a number of things that you want to see in the developer tools to show that the application is actually, for example, using application cache. The other thing too is I'll use the Chrome's feature where it does mobile responsive based on the size of the browser. So that's how I'll try to demonstrate the responsiveness without using the typical Bootstrap framework or other well-known like jQuery mobile and so on. So we'll open up Chrome here and we'll put in that URL, and it's going to come to, oh, let's hope I can get this in time. And you can see there that it's done all of the expected application cache storing here. Now if I continue on, one of the major features that I added was the ability to show my location. So if I go ahead and click there, you're going to see our location. Now, I'll be honest, we are away at the moment on a family vacation, so I'm just wrapping this up now. And therefore we are in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. So I'm using Google's framework there, or their APIs rather, to show this project. So let me go ahead and open Final Project, and I can just show some of the scripting here. So you can see here where I'm actually doing the geolocation. I created a function that is called when the button is pressed that determines the geolocation and so on. This also uses mobilizers, so it checks to make sure that geolocation is actually possible within the browser, and if not, it simply gives you that graceful fallback. As well, to get that city location and so on, I'm using the code latitude and longitude, and then pulling out the actual address data within the components here, okay, of the result. Some of the other features that I've added, one, the ability to use automatic redirect. So if we go ahead and click the download feature list, this is the same document, the assignment document that we had to, I can close this now actually. This is the same document that we used to show all the features within this website. So if I go here, it brings you to this redirect page that allows you to actually click and download, but what we want to wait for is that 5 seconds where it loads and shows, so you can see that that actually works here, okay? And that also again is within the index page, and it uses the automatic refresh, okay? Moving on, some of the key visual effects that you'll notice is the rounded corners. So I did use that flipping back within the code. I used that in my CSS. So if we go to my style sheets here, the main style sheet, and I do believe, where did I put that? It's down further, right over here. So over here I used border radius of 5 pixels, okay? I did that both for the buttons as well as the content divs, okay? And again, that was just to show that it is functional within all the browsers. And it gives a better look and feel. One of the other things that I added was just for just to demonstrate the functionality of the orientation of the browser. So as we scale here, this is assuming a landscape view. As you creep in, you'll see the color change there to represent that now it assumes that the browser is in portrait, and therefore the color in the background changes. Now obviously I didn't do anything other than changing the color of the background, but this demonstrates that the functionality is there and it does work. One of the other things that we did implement as well, or that I implemented, sorry, was that when you come to the browser, it lets you know what the platform is. The reason why this is important, and I'll show you where I wrote that in the JavaScript here right at the bottom. So showing the platform, it determines the platform that we're working with, and here you can see it's Mac Intel. But I am actually using this, when you look at this on a mobile phone, to determine whether it was an iPhone or anything else. And as we discussed in class or through the lecture slides, that the iPhone actually displays the mail to slightly differently, and therefore we added in the break. I actually found this out through trial and error, that this no longer matters, having the break in. The new iPhone iOS seems to manage this operating the same way. So whether you have the break statement in there or not, it will go to the separate line. But this does work. So it does recognize when it's an iPhone. So when the device platform is iPhone, it will flip between the two. And so here you're seeing that it says mail us, as opposed to the alternative. Oh, sorry, I should actually go back here. The alternative is I actually have mail us from iPhone. So if you were on an iPhone there, you would see that. You would see that it would say mail us from iPhone down here. Okay. The other feature that I added that unfortunately we're not going to be able to see here on the browser, but you can certainly see, is the video tag. So if I go ahead and play this on a mobile device, this actually takes over the whole screen. And this video is actually just a little video that my brothers who are in the film industry,
when people think it's our big camera that makes our work great,
have done, and so I just added it here to show that the functionality is there. One of the other things too is, so sorry, I also use the SMS. So send to this, I did test this on the browser and it works, or sorry, on the iPhone it does work as well to trigger off the appropriate native app. So this would trigger off specifically on my iPhone. This triggers using the mail client, and this triggers using the messages client. The one other thing was if I choose a file, I used camera here, so you can actually show, let me see, so when you type capture and you capture equals camera, this actually uses the native camera app. So we're able to use that and demonstrate that as well. I did put HTML5 form stuff in here. I don't know if I don't believe I added this as a core feature, but it is there. I think that summarizes, oh, and the screen density. So here's the scenario where I checked for the screen density and then display it. So if you click there, it will display the screen density, so you can see it's ultra high. Actually, most mobile devices now are all ultra high. Again, the main purpose of this, and as stated in the class, was that when you use this, you can determine what image to put. Obviously, I didn't do that here, primarily because I'm not a big image type guy. I'm more on the software engineering side, so I didn't really focus on trying to find images of high res and low res to display accordingly. But I wanted to show the functionality is there. So now to swap images in and out is pretty easy because I could just do an if statement around whether or not. So in that feature right here, I could just do an if statement to say, you know, you have. So here I just say this is what your pixel density is. I could just put an image there. I think that summarizes most of what we're trying to show today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the course, and thank you very much. And wish you all the best in the future. And again, thank you very much for your time and understanding for this late recording. Take care.